Hello and welcome back to Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. We're in the last episode. We made our way through the first part of Jellyfish Fields, and today we will be finishing Jellyfish Fields, starting off with going through the Jellyfish Caves as Patrick. So we're gonna do the belly bounce thing I mentioned previously to jump on top of this button right here to activate it and enter the Jellyfish Caves. A very spooky cave with these things that launch out of the ground, and if you touch them, they will hurt you, so don't touch them. Don't do what I just did and touch them. That's not good. And if you want to, you can pick up any of these tikis. Oh, I said you can pick up any of these tikis. And let's say we want to try to hit that Slender Tiki over there. We can do it, throw it over there, because it's from shiny objects. As I mentioned at the end of the last episode, this caves section is mainly a tutorial section for Patrick to get you used to the idea of throwing things. If we want, we can jump up on top of this watermelon to this ledge right here to get ourselves a pair of underwear to replace the one that we just lost. What we want to do is we want to pick up the throw fruit, throw it at either of the two buttons, pick it up immediately afterwards, and then throw it at the other button, because you need to hit both of them before the throw fruit disappears to open the gate forward. And it looks like I did that just in the nick of time, because if I'd been a second later, the other button would have depressed, and we would have had to start again. Now you're supposed to take this watermelon out to the center log to throw it at the group of tikis over there. I don't really typically do this, but I might try it out just for the sake of the walkthrough. So we've made it to the first one. We'll stand in the back here and make it to the second one. Never mind. Okay, if I got it, time I would have tried, but there's no point doing it because there's way more sections coming up for you to be able to try out your throwing skills. It's going to be spikes here. I recommend waiting for the spikes to completely disappear and then going across the gap. Same thing here. Wait for the spikes to completely go away. Then, okay, couldn't see there. Then jump up here. Again, wait for the spikes to go away before you move any further. I was a little impatient because I got hit and I had to get out of there fast. Wait for the spikes to go away. Jump up on top here. And you want to hold on this watermelon and throw it at that Slender Tiki right there to cause explosion. I missed, unfortunately. That's not exactly ideal, so we're going to grab this underwear. The next backup plan we have is actually just to wait for the watermelon to respawn and try again. I hit the Tiki next to the Slender Tiki instead of the actual Slender Tiki, so let's hit it. Boom. Wait for the spikes to go down one more time. And now we can make our way across if we jump, just in case any spikes decide to come back up and ruin our day. And another thing that throw fruits can do is if you throw it onto any of these pressure plates right here, they will serve as an alternative to you standing. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to sit. So if I step off this with watermelon, you are supposed to stand on this thing. However, the throw fruit, or in this case I'm just going to be calling it the watermelon, will serve as a substitute for you doing so. So if we throw it on here, it'll open the gate for us, and now we can proceed into the next section. And now we're going to get our hands on our first sock of the cave. So what we want to do is throw this watermelon from here. I'm throwing it here because if I go any further, it's going to activate the sign, and activating a sign will immediately just destroy the watermelon in our hands. So let's jump on top of this thing, jump on top of the ledge, like so. And then we want to pick up this watermelon, throw it on top of another watermelon, because that is the thing you can do. You can throw it on top of another one, and stack it so that you can jump up to this level section here. And then before you go any further, you want to turn around and jump on top of this ledge right here to get yourself a sock. And now we can pick up this first watermelon, throw it over there, pick up the second watermelon, throw it. We can try to throw it. Yeah, we'll throw it on top of it right now to create a stack, but this stack will actually fade away, so you want to be quick about this. Jump on top here, activate the teleport box in case you want to, and now it's time for another slide. And that's it. I recommend not double jumping when you come out of that slider right there, because what might happen is you might go launch yourself into the lake, and you don't want to do that, because remember, SpongeBob Patrick cannot swim. If you want to get back up to the top, the second teleport box is right over here. Now what we want to do is, remember when we saw the freeze fruit in the last episode? Well, what you were supposed to do to get that sock is come back to that section with Patrick, pick it up, throw it into the lake, and it will in turn freeze the water so that you can walk across it. We didn't do that because I didn't feel like waiting to come back to that section with Patrick, so I took a shortcut. But that is how you're supposed to do it, because what you do here is the same thing. Throw the ice into the lake, or throw the freeze cube into the lake to freeze it, and then walk out to grab the sock and then hurry back to dry land before it turns back to water and you sink and die. If Patrick belly flops near robots, it will damage or stun them. Small robots will be simply defeated by Patrick's belly flop. That is true. So if we just belly flop next to this guy right here, he gets destroyed immediately. Anybody caught in the blast radius will be destroyed immediately. We're going to destroy the Duplicatotron so that no one else can spawn in. But you're supposed to, I believe you're supposed to carry this throw fruit all the way to the top. We're not going to do that, because what we want to do instead is let's try out the stun effect on this guy. Stun next to him, and now he's dead, or not dead, but he's stunned temporarily. Keep that in mind for this section, because there's a button right here. But we can't hit that button, and getting the watermelon to the top here is pretty much almost impossible. So what we want to do instead is we want to stun either of these robots, pick them up, throw them at the button, and then destroy the other guy so that he doesn't come back to life, or wake up, which he just did. And this guy's going to come back, let's defeat him real quickly. Jump over here, defeat the Duplicatotron first. I'll destroy you as well, because I don't feel like dealing with any robots on my return trip. And now we have our hands on a golden spatula.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And that's it for the Jellyfish Caves. So now what we want to do is head up this walkway right here and exit into Jellyfish Lake.
Ahoy there! Squidward tells me you're looking for the King Jellyfish.
Yes?
Good thing, too. That monster has been stinging all my good customers in their poop decks. I hear that you can find him up top of Old Spork Mountain here. Go hook that beast, sailor!
Oh boy, Mr. Krabs. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so this is probably the most complicated or the most complex section in the entirety of Jellyfish Fields. It's also the last section before we actually go to fight the boss, so let's get to work. Here's a new enemy over here. This is the first enemy that can damage us from a distance, because he actually has a gun he can shoot tartar sauce at us, and if we get touched by this tartar sauce, we will be stunned. But you can use that temporary amount of time in which you are stunned to attack him, but you'll notice that this one does not go down in one hit, so you want to trick him into shooting tartar sauce at you, jump around it, and then launch him backwards, and you need to hit him twice in order to destroy him. Hey guy, how you doing there? Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to proceed on to the rest of the level, and you'll notice that there's someone over there waiting for us. Mrs. Puff! Let's go say hi to Mrs. Puff, see if she has a mission for us.
Hello, Mrs. Puff.
Hello, Patrick. I've got a job for you to do.
Oh boy.
I found a golden spatula, but those robots out on the island stole it and threw it into the lake. If you can figure out how to get it back, you're welcome to it.
Sure enough, Mrs. Puff.
Alright, so now this area is going to be a test of your abilities to stun robots and throw said robots back at people. It's going to be a bunch of hammer robots that spawn in. You want to stun them as soon as they land on the island and throw them at any of the surrounding towers around this little island right here. So again, stun, pick up, throw at tower, and that's all you got to do because there's a bunch of towers around here and they are continually pouring water into the lake. So we want to stop them from doing so because, as the title of this golden spatula would imply, the objective here is to drain the lake, and you spawn in right there, so let's stun you. So once we drain the lake, I didn't have a targeting system there, but I still made it regardless. And there's one more. Where is it? I don't see it. There it is. I was missing the last tower. There we go. Lake has been drained. And now, not only do we have a clear line of sight to the spatula down there, but we also opened up pathways from the beginning section of the level to the next section of the level. So if we ever come back here, we can just use these platforms to cross the section, or cross across the center anytime. But for now, let's grab the golden spatula.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And if you want to, you can head back across the bridge that you first went through to get out to this little small island to have a little chat with Mrs. Puff about what you have just accomplished.
Well done, Patrick. You're a real star.
See what she did there?
Can I get a cookie?
No.
Well, that was unfortunate. Anyway, we do actually want to switch to Stewie. Actually, no, let's not switch to Spongebob yet. We'll switch to him a bit later, but we do want. We'll keep playing as Patrick for the time being. But there is a certain point at which we're gonna want to switch to Spongebob. Anyway, this is a Tiki. Spongebob will have to sneak up on in order to destroy it. Patrick may throw things at it from a distance. So if there's anything we want to throw at it from a distance, nah. But basically, what you would do is if you don't fully apply pressure to the left control stick and you just kind of sneak up on it. Well, I guess not, but most of the time if you just sneak up on it, it won't see you coming. But you can't just walk right up to it and punch it. Unfortunately, that won't work. We'd have to pick up a Slender Tiki like so, turn around, and then throw it at the Tiki from a distance, like so. Anyway, let's use a belly flop right here against these small enemies right here. Almost hit the Tartar with that. That was close. Let's destroy the Duplicatotron before it spawns any more enemies. Hop up here, trick it into the firing Tartar dust, circle around it, hit it once, hit it twice, and then the Tartar has been defeated. Grab the Slender right here to replenish the health that we lost in that section. Another Tartar right here. I was considering picking up the Tiki, but we should just be able to get behind it really quickly. Actually, let's knock it into the Thunder Tiki. I was wondering. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get away in time, and unfortunately I was not. Alright, so there's a section up there to the left-hand side, which we do have to be Spongebob to get to go there and actually get the sock, but we also need an ability for Spongebob which we don't have yet, so we're gonna hold off on that for now. Hit the teleport box there because I find myself falling off a lot in the section up ahead, so just in case, I recommend holding on to that, or I recommend activating the teleport box. And let's try to knock you into you, if I can. There we go. Knock the smaller robot into the bigger robot, as per the usual. And Tartar is not actually the biggest threat here. When I hit the Duplicatotron once, then hit the jump around the Tartar before he sauces you, and then hit him twice, and that is him defeated. This is a Stone Tiki. It cannot be destroyed with ordinary moves. It can be blown up by Thunder Tiki. So if we activate this and then chuck it back like so, it will destroy that massive group of Thunder Tikis up in the distance. So now what we want to do is we want to destroy all, or stun all of these guys at once, because they all pretty much like to bunch up. And we don't actually want to throw them at anything. We just want to destroy them. Move up to the Stone Tikis, hit this one Thunder Tiki to cause the thing, or cause all the Stone Tikis and the Duplicatotron to explode. And now we can proceed on when if you've been collecting shiny items up until this point, you will have way more than enough to feed this clam right here. And that is the last time you will have to feed a clam for the remainder of the Jellyfish Fields level, so now you can just focus on having fun, platforming your way through the rest of it. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't. That doesn't mean you should stop collecting shiny objects, because in future levels you will still have to, you know, feed clams. So let's take this short opportunity here to throw some for the watermelon at these Thunder Tikis so that we can get some more shiny objects. I keep wanting to call them studs, but they're not studs. They are shiny objects. Anyway, Tartar, one hit, and it got knocked into the goo, so it destroyed it immediately. Nice. Okay, there's two socks we want to get our hands on in this section. Activate the checkpoint just in case. And what we want to do is, the main path is over there to the right-hand side, and while I am going to destroy the Duplicatotron, just doesn't cause us any harm in the future, that's not actually the way we're going to go. And hello, hammers, how you doing today? Can I knock you? Nice, I'll knock the hammer into a hammer. Perfection, all part of the plan. Alright, so you want to, actually, instead of going to the right path, or the main path, you want to head over to the secretive left path, and then you can't spin stall with Patrick, so you have to rely purely on just your double jump, and then jump out from here onto the small ledge with a sock, and then bounce your way back. That's sock number one. I mentioned there's two socks in this section. That was number one. Number two is coming up ahead. And the reason why I told you to activate the teleport box down there is because this section right here. Sometimes this Tartar can knock me off guard. Oh, no. More quickly. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting my reflexes to be that fast. But basically what you want to do is you want to pick up the Thunder Tiki, run as fast as you can, and throw it at the Tartar, because if you try to jump here, he'll just knock you down into the goo. It's not... I mean, you can pull it off that way, but it's just easier to grab the Thunder Tiki and then throw him at it like this. But I was confident the Thunder Tiki was going to blow up. I didn't think I was actually going to be able to throw it in time and kill him with the splash damage, but what do you know? Okay, so now if we head over here, we're going to discover something peculiar. There's a freeze fruit here. I don't know why, because you can freeze the lake, sure. In fact, I'm going to do it now just to demonstrate it. Yeah, you can throw it down into the goo right there. Is this a good enough angle? Let's find out. Is it going to land? Yes, it is. Okay, so the entire lake throughout the entire level has been frozen. But to what ends? Like, what's the goal in doing that? There's nothing that doesn't achieve anything, because there's no socks or spatulas to obtain by doing so. So I don't really know what the point of it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just to get a look at the level that you've passed through up until this point, to get a good glimpse at where you've been. I don't know. Anyway, the second sock is going to be hiding down here on this little path, so now we can climb our way up to the top, and on our way up, we're going to get a bunch of blue shiny objects right over here. We already have 15 socks, which means we're going to have way more than enough to get a, to get a spatula from Patrick when we're done. But unfortunately, ooh, that was close. That was way too close. We aren't going to have enough to get two. We're only going to have enough to get one shiny object, golden spatula from him. So now what we want to do is there's an exploit you can pull off here by leaning this down and then walking backwards to get the golden spatula. But I'm gonna do it the official way, just because the only reason why I took a little shortcut with Spongebob in the last episode with jumping into the lake to get the sock, because it would actively take me out of my way to go back there with Patrick. So no reason for me not to do it the official way this time. So we're gonna jump our way over here, and it's going to be a hammer and a small guy waiting for us. I really should find out the name of the small guy, but I still don't. I've just never. Ooh! Almost got me. I was quick enough to avoid it though. We're going to jump on, grab on the edge. Never mind, I missed. You're supposed to grab the edge of that in order to pull it down, but I did not. Well, I did not succeed there because I missed. Let's try it again. Jump out, grab the edge of this, and pull it down, and this will extend all the way up to the top, like so. And if you do extend all the way up to the top, what you'll discover is there's a bunch of shiny objects over here. So we can go over here, grab these shiny objects, like so, and then drop down. And now is the point in which we want to switch to SpongeBob at this bus stop. So say goodbye to Patrick for now. We'll see him soon enough. But for the time being, SpongeBob can jump up walls when this symbol appears. Jump against the walls, it's a slider wall, and press the A button to jump again. So wall jumping. The best way I can describe, it's really hard to describe, but the best way to describe it is jump to one side, press the A button, jump to the other side, press the A button, alternate, rinse and repeat, jump to the side, press A, jump to the side, press A until you get to the top, and your spatula, the reward for coming all the way up here after you defeat these Tartar, of course, so will knock you over the ledge. And then, ooh, nice try, buddy. Try to knock you over the edge as well, like so, and boom, you've exploded. Also, remember earlier when I said that there was a Tartar on the ground, take note of that? That's because we were going to be facing a Tartar enemy in this episode. Anyway, for your reward for climbing all the way up here, crossing the entirety of Jellyfish Fields, is going to be this spatula right over here. And now, it is time to face off against King Jellyfish himself. Let's go.
Buddy! Gosh, everyone is trying to help out today.
Step quietly there. That King Jellyfish is just up at the top of this path. Good luck. You'll need it.
Thanks, Bubble Buddy.
Okay, now it's time for your first boss fight of the game, and you'll notice that there's a bunch of underwear down here in case you've taken hit points up until this point, because it's a boss fight. You know, it's not particularly challenging, but still, your first boss fight of the game. Get excited about it.
I knew the King Jellyfish was big, but who knew he had such a beautiful voice?
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to wait for him to smack himself against the ground, like so. Then jump over the shockwave he says he sends out, then walk up to him, double jump, and then press the X button to spin attack into him. Pretty simple. That's really all that this boss fight has to offer. Then he does spawn some mini jellyfish on you, but they're mini jellyfish. They're not that big of a threat. I almost honestly don't even attack them most of the time. Just wait for him to touch down again. Oh, I wasn't quick enough that time. I was not quick enough that time. Admittedly, got a little too cocky because I was talking about the jellyfish and I did not get to him fast enough that time. But what you want to do is just rinse and repeat, wait for him to smack down against the ground, jump over the shockwave, jump into him, and then press the X button to attack. You gotta do that 3 times, or I should say do it 3 times successfully, and then that'll be the boss fight defeated. And he sends out waves of jellyfish each time. This time he sends up some more upgraded jellyfish, because you'll notice they're a slightly different shade of pink than the other ones. I think they're more purple than they are pink. But just as always, jump over the shockwave, hit him, and then that's the boss fight over. You've gotten the King Jellyfish Jelly. Return to Squidward for your reward. Okay, now, remember when I said that the slides were about to get a whole lot more awesome? Well, this is sort of what I was talking about. As a reward for climbing all the way up to the top of Mount Spork, through the entirety of Jellyfish Fields, the adventure you've been on up to this point to get here, your reward to get back down to the bottom and collect your reward from Squidward is an awesome slide. So, as much as I really want to let you guys enjoy the music, there is actually a sock and a... Okay, I didn't want to start just yet. A sock and a golden spatula that you need to collect. I'm pulling myself back so I can explain this. A sock and a golden spatula you need to collect, so I'm going to explain how you get those. First thing I would recommend you do is just double jump up above these tikis to get the purple and the blue shiny object. Then jump off to the right of the slide and pull the camera left to jump into this little alcove right here. That's probably going to take a couple times to perfect. In fact, if you're not too confident about it, you can jump on to the side. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Oh, I didn't activate the teleport. Okay, whatever. Double jump your way up on top of this platform right here to grab yourself the golden spatula. I explained that really, really quickly, and I probably could have done a lot better job of it. So, the jump I pulled off there, where I just jump into this, I'm actually going to warp my boy back up to the top. Slide leap, yeah, I should probably do this one to warp my way to the top. This will take me to the top. Yes. Okay, so the thing that I just did was pretty risky, and it takes a lot of time to perfect. So what I probably recommend doing instead of what I was trying to do but failed doing is actually double jump your way up onto this platform right here, then pull back on the throttle, or you can okay, pull back on the throttle, and then you just jump your way across the platforms to slide your way down to the bottom like so. That's a safer way to do what I just did. I still don't think I'm explaining it well, but it's better when you get a feel for it. Like when you actually do it and you see how the physics work and you can pull back and jump and all that. It's easy to get an understanding of what's going on there. Anyway, now that that's over with, let's talk to Larry.
See, no problem. You could do anything you set your mind and your muscle to.
I don't know why he's here, but he is here. So now we can jump onto this exit trampoline right here to take us back to the beginning of Jellyfish Fields. And collect our reward from Squidward.
Yeah. Oh, that feels so much better.
Anything for my best friend Squidward. Can I rub some on?
What if I just gave you this?
And there's our last golden spatula of Jellyfish Fields. And that concludes our adventures for this level, so you can say goodbye to Jellyfish Fields, all the wonderful memories we've made here, our journey through Jellyfish Rock, the caves, and the lake, and of course, the battle against King Jellyfish right over there. It's always nice to just, when you finish the level, because it's a very full circle feel where you get to the start of the beginning level, you have an adventure through the area itself, and then concluding in some kind of big confrontation, and then you come back to the beginning, and it's like, what great memories we've made here. But now, unfortunately, it is time for us to return to Bikini Bottom via the taxi, and begin a new adventure. We're not done yet, though, because as you may remember, I did say we're going to be collecting a spatula from Patrick because we have 16 socks, which is way more than enough for us to give him, for him to give us a spatula.
Wow, SpongeBob, you found some!
Now they're back home, safe where they belong.
Here's your golden back scratcher.
Spatula.
I don't speak Italian.
And that will be it for this episode of the game, because the next time, in tomorrow's episode, we're going to be heading over to downtown Bikini Bottom to start our next big section, of the game. So, that'll be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you for the next time. I'll catch you all tomorrow for some more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!